everyone, it's Penny Black and Jill Foster here with a new PB&J card class. And in today's video, we will be making a winter themed card. Here's a look at the card that we are creating. And this card actually, I think, looks much more complicated than it actually is. So I'm excited to share the process with you. The stamp that we are featuring is from Penny Black. It's a cling stamp called Wintertide. And this is part of Penny Black's newest collection, First Snow. And just real quick before we begin creating the card, I wanted to let you know I will have a full supply list up on screen at the very end of the video. So if you want to check out any of those stamp names, the ink colors, anything I'm using, it will be up on screen at that time and you can just hit pause to check it out in more detail. So to begin, I'm going to stamp this using my Misty Stamp Positioning tool, and I am inking this up kind of with a base layer of color using an archival ink. So this is going to be a waterproof ink. The color here is Fern Green. And I'm going to stamp it just a couple of times. And I am stamping this onto Strathmore Bristol Smooth paper. And what is great about this is that it can take some water, so we're going to do a little watercoloring, but it is very smooth, so you can really capture all the details of this stamp. Now I'm going in with my mini archival inks. Again, these will be waterproof, but the mini size allows for really easy placement. And basically I'm adding my shading to the image using these inks. So I'm just selectively adding them where I want it to be a little bit darker, and I'm stamping it a couple of times just to darken it up. So I like to start light and then build up the color in layers so that I never go too dark just to begin with. And it is so fun to see this just gorgeous detail of these stamps. So here I'm grabbing just a little bit of a brown and adding that in a few places and just adding a little extra detail here and there and some shading just right onto the stamp itself. And by using the stamp positioning tool, it allows me to do that, to stamp it repeatedly, adding more and more colors as I go. And you can really start to see this coming to life. Now here I'm going to take the library green mini archival ink, and again I'm just kind of turning that on its side and putting that right on that tree in the center portion of the tree, and doing several layers just to slowly darken up the color, build up the color until it's at a point that I like. Now I'm going to add a lot more layers to this as we go, but you can see right here, this itself I think would make a beautiful card all on its own. So if you don't like to watercolor or you are making lots and lots of cards, you can see that just with this one stamp, you can really get a lot of detail in a beautiful card. And here I'm actually adding a little touch of blue, some cobalt blue ink, and there you can really see what a difference that makes in making that tree there in the center the star of the show. Now to do my painting, I'm going to use Distress Ink re-inkers used as watercolors, and I have them on an ink palette there just off to the side. And first I'm going to add just a bit of green on top of some of these areas that I've already stamped in green. Now you wouldn't have to do this, but what I feel like this does is it sort of unifies the entire image and makes it look like the whole thing is painted. So since I'm painting the sky and I'm painting sort of that pathway that you see going towards the back into the forest there, the road, I feel like by putting some paint onto these other areas, it unifies the look of the entire card and makes all the parts, the sky plus the stamping, look like they all go together, and almost as if the entire scene was just hand painted and that there wasn't any stamping involved. It also mutes some of that detail on the left hand and the right hand side so that that tree in the center can be the star of the show. And that's really what I want with this entire card, is that that center tree just sort of looks like it is just glowing and coming to life. Now to paint the sky, I'm first just putting a very thin or light layer of water onto the sky. Then I'm going to drop in my paints. Now you can see the benefit because I stamped everything using archival inks. None of those inks are going to blend or bleed when we add water or paints on top. So that is why I did choose that particular type of ink. I don't have to try and paint around all of those different branches. And when I painted on top of the green areas down below, I still kept the detail, but was able to put some transparent other green color on top but some of the detail still shows through and nothing is bleeding or blending on me. I'm adding some darker blue around the edges and a little lighter blue undertone. Now when you paint on the Bristol paper, you will notice it does sort of feel different and work different than your watercolors. So you could certainly do this exact same process on a watercolor paper, especially if you like to add more and more water to your painting. But you will probably need a few more impressions to capture the detail of that stamped image if you're stamping onto a textured watercolor paper. I'm going to add just a little bit of shadowing down here in this snowy area. And again, I feel like that really just brings this entire image to life. I just love that way, the perspective of that sort of path leading to the back. If it's a road or a walking path, it almost makes you just want to walk down it. So now I'm going to add a little more stamping, and I'm going to use the trees from our Prancers transparent set. This is an older set, but I find that these trees in this set are like the best trees for making winter scene cards. I've just used the sticky edge of some post-it notes to mask off the green areas below. The masking is not perfect, and it doesn't need to be. I'll show you a little trick to sort of hide any areas that aren't perfectly masked. Sometimes I'm a bit of a lazy stamper and don't like to cut a perfect mask, and it's kind of hard with this particular stamp because there's lots of little branches and areas that would be difficult to cut around. So this certainly works very easily. I'm using the Cobalt Mini Archival ink. Again, that's going to be waterproof, so when we add a little painting on top, none of that stamping that we're doing now is going to bleed or blend. So I felt like just adding these trees in the background added even more to the scene. But again, you certainly at any point in this card could stop wherever you are happy or whatever, however much time you have for your card making. You could leave out this step, or you could, just paint the sky and add some snow splatters. It's really up to you. So I'm just going to add one more here, and you can see I'm just varying the heights on these trees. And I'm just peeling up here my little sticky notes. Now you can see where that isn't perfect, where that edge was masked, but I'm just going to pull out my Distress Ink re-inkers again and just add a little blue paint in there, and part of it going up into the trees, and that will just perfectly hide any imperfections in that masking. And I think it just adds a little depth and perspective to that background as well, and again ties it in so that the parts of the image that are stamped also look like they are painted. We're going to add one more layer of stamping, and this is with our Fragile Beauty Cling Stamp. These are really great wintertime branches. And I have again positioned this into my Misty Stamp Positioning tool. I've masked off part of that little path there. Now I'm going to heat emboss this. So I am sure that my panel is completely dry. I rubbed it with an anti-static bag just to be sure that the embossing powder only sticks where I'm stamping. And I am inking these with Versamark ink. And I'm just going to stamp them right onto the panel. And I'm going to do it a couple times just to be sure that I capture all of the detail. Then I will peel up that mask and sprinkle this with white embossing powder. And then I'll go ahead and heat that to set it. Now I really wanted the eye to go in or sort of zoom in on that tree in the center. So I'm using the Cobalt Archival ink and a sponge dauber tool just to add some inking around the outer top and left corners of the card, and then a little bit of Distress ink and gathered twigs down at the bottom just to bring out that embossed stamping down there in that corner. Now I'm going to use some Arteza gouache paint. I have found this is so great for adding snow splatters. Gouache paint is sort of like an opaque watercolor, and I've just mixed in a little bit of water, and then I am splattering that down onto the card. and it's very easy to clean up too. So when you're done, what I do is I just take a baby wipe and wipe off the surface where I've been splattering. You could also do it inside like a box just to contain some of the splatter, but it dries nice and opaque. Now I'm going to put a little bit more onto my acrylic block, and this I'm going to paint on without watering it down. So it's going on kind of like a thick, almost like an acrylic paint, and it leaves just a little bit of texture as well. And I'm just picking a few branches here and there to add some snow, like it's sitting on top. And again, I think that this gouache paint is so perfect for that because it leaves a little bit of that texture on there. And because it's opaque, it really shows up on over the background where you're painting it. And this little step adds so much. Now, if you're not quite sure where to add that snow, I mean, you really can't do it wrong, but if you look at your packaging, it will give you some ideas of where on those upper branches to add it. I also added a little bit down here onto this path, like it's been sort of shoveled off to the side or gathered up there on the pathway. Now on this card I chose not to do a sentiment on the front. I felt like the scene was totally enough all on its own, and a sentiment would distract from that. So I think you could use this for any time of year. You could even do a winter birthday, a masculine card, a New Year's card, or Christmas, just depending on whatever sentiment you choose to add to the inside of the card or the message that you write. To finish things off here, I am just painting on a few little dots of that gouache paint. That's the white paint, just for some larger snowflakes, just to add a little more depth to that snowy scene. And so if there's any places the splattering mist, I'm able to pick that up and add it myself. So here's a look at the finished card. I hope you enjoyed this process and it sort of demystified what may look like a complicated card or a complicated stamp, and so that you can see it is very doable and fun to create. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also connect with Penny Black on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, as well as our website and blog. And I will link to all of those for you down in the YouTube description box, as well as links to the stamps used in this video. And if you stay tuned, up here on screen will be a list of all the supplies as promised. Thanks for watching.